All right, welcome back to the program. Joining me right now is His Excellency Adamu Mohammed Abdulhamid, the Chargé d'Affaires and the acting ambassador to the WTO Nigeria Trade Office to the World Trade Organization in Switzerland. Welcome, Your Excellency, and thanks for joining me today. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you very much for inviting me to this program.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, let's get started. Finally, a round of applause, a standing ovation. Perhaps we should be dancing. Before I come to you, let's take this video quickly.
I would like to express my profound gratitude to the WTO membership for electing me to lead this organization at this critical juncture. Special thanks to President Muhammadu Buhari and all my Nigerian compatriots for their support and prayers. I also want to recognize and thank ECOWAS and AU heads of state, the ACP Secretary General and the ACP membership for their early support of my candidacy. Thank you to other members who supported my candidacy from start to finish of this selection process. Without the recent swift action by the Biden-Harris administration to join the consensus of the membership on my candidacy, we would not be here today. I'm grateful to the United States for the prompt action and strong expression of support. Finally, my thanks to my family and friends, too numerous to name here, for their strength and encouragement throughout this process. It has been a long and tough road, full of uncertainty, but now it's the dawn of a new day, and the real work can begin.
Oh, okay. Yes, it is a celebration here in the country. His Excellency is still with me. His Excellency Adamu Mohammed Abdulhamid. You saw Dr. dancing, I think, in one of her TED Talks, not yesterday. That video wasn't from yesterday. But
we danced more yesterday.
Yes, so tell me what the mood was, because I was dancing all through yesterday. In fact, I was like, winner, oh, winner. You know, we don't win, no, Nigeria has won. Finally, how do you feel? What's the mood? Especially as you led the government delegation, you did the long walk as the government lead in Geneva. So speak to me about it.
In fact, we were overwhelmed. We cried because of the victory.
Wow.
Cry of happiness. The whole Geneva yesterday was jubilated.
Wow.
Because we have marked a record of history and history of excellence. So all the Nigerian delegation in Geneva, all over the world, we have received a lot of commendations and congratulatory messages. And the entire African countries in Geneva are all happy yesterday. Not only Africa, but other parts of the world. The EU, the Americans, and Asians, they are all happy that the WTO has gotten a reputable leader to lead the organization to the highest level. The record of Dr. Okonjo-Iweala has proven that she's a woman of integrity, a woman of excellence, full with knowledge and potentials, and above all, connections that will bring glory to the World Trade Organization this time around. This, we believe, is going to be a new WTO. WTO with a leader by a woman, an African, and a Nigerian. Of course, we are so grateful. This happened during our time. It is continued to be in the history of our life, in the history of Nigeria, and of course, in Africa. So we are grateful, we jubilated, we danced, we cried at tears because of happiness. And it is on record, even after our life, that this had happened during the time we are leading the Nigeria in Geneva. And with the support of all our principals in Nigeria, particularly Mr. President Muhammad Buhari, and the ministers, they have done wonderfully well. Ambassador Adeni Adebayo has done well. Ambassador Mariam Katago has done extremely well. Mr. Geoffrey of Ministry of Foreign Affairs have done well. So we got all the necessary support, including the Chief of Staff to the President and all other Nigerians, both technically and otherwise. Our permanent secretaries of both Ministry of Trade and Foreign Affairs, they have done well in facilitating and liaising with us, leading to this victory. You know, victory without strategy can never succeed, no matter how excellent the candidate you have. So the team in Geneva done extremely well. We've done it, and we are so happy.
His Excellency, I can actually feel your mood here too, because I'm currently also in that mood of happiness. But can you just walk us through a bit? Give us a peep into the strategy. You talked about strategy. Give us a peep into the strategy that the Nigerian delegation played in Geneva. You're in Geneva right now as we speak. Just give me a peep into some of the, things that you did that made Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala emerge.
Thank you very much. When the president of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, submitted or approved the nomination of Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala and passed through our ministers, and they transmitted to us here in Geneva to submit to the World Trade Organization as the Nigerian candidate for the post of the Director General of the WTO. That has been submitted. Then the next we did was to sit down, both at national level and the Geneva-based level, to constitute a strategy that will lead us to success. Part of those strategies, first, in Nigeria, some stakeholders were constituted to be led by Honorable Minister of State, Ambassador Mariam Katagun, involving other members from Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the rest, and they worked on the national strategy. Then we here in Geneva also sat down and then worked out strategies on what we needed to do, and we strike straight away by first and foremost identifying all the relevant negotiating groupings in the WTO, and began to reach out to their leadership to organize bilateral meetings with all the negotiating groups, the leadership and the members of those groups. Apart from that, we also visited all the ambassadors in Geneva to seek for their support. And our candidate displayed to them the knowledge, the experience, and the solutions to the challenges facing the WTO at the moment, which they are all convinced. Then we also organize a lot of breakfast meetings, dinners, and the rest to be able to engage some of them one-to-one to win their heart so that they could support our candidate eventually. We carry out some visitations to the region within the Europe to discuss even at the highest level. So that has been done confidently. And in every meeting that was held in the presence of those ones, Dr. Okonjo-Iweala was given an opportunity to present to them her missions, ambitions for the WTO, which she had done very well. So these are some of the strategies that we have done, and none of other candidates that had did the same. So we've been able to reach out to all the membership, both at the ministerial levels and the ambassadorial levels and the grouping levels. So that is how we are able to win the heart of everyone, for them to see that this lady has what it takes to lead this organization, and we were successful.
Now, His Excellency, let's take a look at WTO with this new leadership right now, because in fact, I watched her press conference yesterday. In fact, she also tweeted yesterday that it's no longer business as usual. So
Yeah.
she has, in fact, started the work, though she's going to resume on the 1st of March. Do you
Yeah.
think that Okonjo-Iweala, her qualities will make the WTO modern? Because the WTO has been accused that it's no more relevant in modern times. What do you think that the WTO will look like with the leadership of Okonjo-Iweala?
The basic fundamental thing currently affecting the operations of the World Trade Organization as an institution is some imbalances on some issues and the way things have been happening. Okay, so this therefore means the WTO as an institution needs a total reform. And what we saw in Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala with what she has done in the World Bank, what she has done in Nigeria, and of course what she had done in many other bodies that she served, she has a record proving that she is a reformer. And therefore, bringing her to the WTO or her coming to the WTO, honestly, it will change a lot of things. For example, when she was carrying out the campaign, she brought in some few things to indicate that she is bringing on board that will assist the members to work efficiently and to achieve the mandate of the World Trade Organization. So in the recent times, you may be aware that there are some new initiatives that were being introduced into the WTO for discussions. But some developing countries feel that they are not yet there because they don't have the capacity. So that has been lingering for some time, but the talks has already begun, like on the issue of e-commerce, investment facilitation for development, women and gender. So she is now with an initiative that, look, this thing cannot be done without addressing digital divide, particularly on the e-commerce issue. Therefore, developing countries need issue of the digital divide to be addressed. Then what she said she will do is to try to collaborate with other financial multilateral institutions so that WTO could work with them to see the packages of technical support they have so that they can deploy the funds that are meant for that, and then to target the developing countries that will have such support and assistance to be able to have enough capacity that they can key into this key e-commerce agreement when it comes on board. And that the developing country consider it as a massive, because this is what they're anticipating, they're expecting, because what weakened them to be part of this e-commerce from the beginning when Nigeria first key in was because of some of these observations. But with this recommendation, she is proposing to the membership that this is what she intends to do. And she has a relationship with most of these institutions, like the World Bank, the IMF, and some other regional financial institutions, the American Exim Bank and the rest. So that is already like a settled matter, because she has even came with a projection that this is what it is required for the developing countries to be able to have those capacities that they can key and implement the e-commerce successfully.
Okay.
The world has changed, therefore we need change.
Okay.
There are other imbalances in agriculture, okay? Like for instance, the way support is being given by countries under what we call domestic support. So the developing countries generally are seeking for the imbalances there to be corrected. And how will it be corrected? Is of course for the developing countries to get the needed support so that they can improve on what they are doing, and then the developed countries to also look into what they are supporting that it is trade distorting, to take it away or to reduce it drastically. so that at least we can operate at the balance or equal level globally, so that our traders, exporters, importers can operate equally, and the benefit will go to all.
Okay, finally, Your Excellency, what is Nigeria's role now at the WTO, the World Trade Organization? Of course, Nigeria joined WTO, I think in 1995. That's when it came up from GATT, General Agreement, Tariffs and Trade. I hope I got that right, because so many acronyms, you know. But what do you think will be the role right now? How should Nigeria play at the WTO?
Thank you extremely well. Of course, Nigeria had been a founding member of the World Trade Organization. We were there since GATT. So in 1995, we just carry over because we are automatic a member then. So we continued from then, and we have been there performing wonderfully till today. Now, the basic role we have been playing, because what I want you to know is that in the WTO, Nigeria is one of the strongest members. No group that is being set up that Nigeria will not be bringing in. The fact remains that any decision by any grouping without Nigeria cannot even be successful. So that's why other grouping, even outside the WTO, they call Nigeria to be part of it. There's what we call friends of the system. So many developed countries and few developing countries are in that group. Nigeria, only from Africa, is the member of that group. So you can see how influential we are. Then on what role we must be playing at the moment is that, first and foremost, with the coming of Dr. Okonjo-Iweala as the Director General of the World Trade Organization, there are a few fundamental benefits that we feel Nigeria will itemize from my office over here, and then will liaise with the office of the Director General through various committees to be able to play vital roles in terms of what will go to Nigeria. I can give you some specific examples. One is that currently there is, under the technical assistance program in the WTO, Nigeria has never hosted regional trade policy workshops or seminars. The reason being that they said Nigeria is in category C, and that we don't believe. Category C means countries that maybe is not well secured, but we don't believe in that. So therefore, we must push through her office to host regional activities that is being taken to other countries, so that more of our officials in Nigeria will be able to participate and improve their capacity on some technical skills. And again, there are some committees that have some facilities that will assist the member countries, like what we call sanitary and phytosanitary committee. They have some trade facility there that normally countries who have some weaknesses in terms of maybe production or agricultural input will use that facility and to support the farmers so that they can produce some standard quality that are meant for export. So that we only benefited from that facility once in the early 90s. So it has to come back. There are trade facilitation facility, which of course, a lot of funds is there that countries that have weaknesses on some trade facilitation activity will also get those support to their country. So we will also explore that. There's currently a discussion going on investment facilitation for development. So there's a facility we're also working on to attach with that agreement. They call it investment facilitation facility. That also will. So Nigeria will play key roles in liaising with the current WTO Director General.
Okay.
because everything ends in her table.
Yeah.
So by the time we identify and put all this together, then we are sure that a lot of benefit will go to Nigeria. Nancy, before we end, let me tell you one thing. In the history of WTO since 1999 to today, there hasn't been any permanent staff in the WTO till now that I'm talking to you. The only person that is there is an appointment given by former Director General by appointing him as DG. So very soon, when this new DG constitutes her new team, he's pulling out. So we need to liaise with the Director General to identify key Nigerian professionals who have the WTO skills and knowledge so that we can penetrate them to be in the WTO, to work in the WTO in all the divisions.
Okay.
In fact, during the campaign, some countries observed that there is the WTO as a secretariat is not a true reflection of the membership of the WTO, which is true because so many countries don't have their own citizens working there. So this is an opportunity for us to make sure we take that advantage. So as soon as vacancies are declared, we must be punishing Nigeria with it for people to apply, and we will use our good offices here and her own offices here to get them employed and work for the benefit of all.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Good job. Kudos. A round of applause from me to you all there in Geneva, and I wish you all well. Thank you. I will speak with you soon. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much. But I want to, before we conclude, I want to thank all Nigerians. I want to thank our team here in Geneva. My staff in the Nigeria Trade Office of the WTO, those in the Nigerian mission, we have done wonderfully well. And even yesterday, after the confirmation of appointment, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala called me and she expressed that commendation and she expressed appreciation, and we agreed to work together for the benefit of Nigeria, Africa, and the global community. And that I assure you, we will make Nigeria proud as long as we are here.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you. All right, I've been speaking with His Excellency Adamu Mohammed Abdulhamid, the Shadow Affairs and the Acting Ambassador at the Nigeria Trade Office to the World Trade Organization in Geneva, Switzerland. Thank you for watching our video. Please hit the subscribe button below, turn on post notification to follow all our updates.